Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
And we serve as the voice to the Spousal Black community.
Again, we got Dr. Candace Matthews.
A lot of these documents, looking at.
We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media.
This country is supposed to be about the land of the free for all. It has not been free for Black people, and we are tired.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
So the Trudeau government is implementing even more cuts, and this time it's to the spousal work permits for international students that come to Canada to study. Take a look and we'll talk about it further.
Over the next 3 years, the country plans to cut more than 100,000 spousal open work permits, drastically limiting who can come to Canada to work while their spouse studies. So if you are an international student or thinking about becoming one, these changes could be a game changer. Because Immigration Minister Mark Miller has outlined a clear goal: fewer work permits for the spouses of international students, with new rules targeting specific advanced degree programs. Meaning, if you are pursuing a master's degree, your spouse may no longer be eligible to work unless your program is at least 16 months long. Now, with the implementation of new rules, the focus is shifting towards highly skilled students in specific fields. Earlier this year, Canada signaled that only spouses of students in doctoral or select master's programs at designated learning institutions would qualify for work permits. Even some undergrad programs in high-demand areas will be spared. But for most students, the landscape is tightening.
So that's 100,000 fewer spousal work permits. And that is something that the international students really require, because they're really essentially here to study, and they're supposed to be studying full time. So with the help of their spouse being able to come down on a permit and work, then that would help with, the expenses, which are quite high here in Canada. So by cutting it by 100,000 over the next 3 years, works out to be over, 33.3333 thousand over the next 3 years is a huge slash. And as it is now, the international students are allowed to work up to 24 hours a week max. So when you factor that in with the cost of living right now, which is astronomical, and when they apply to come to Canada, they have to show that they have at least $20,000 in their account, and that's supposed to be for them their everyday living expenses, which is essentially impossible here in Canada to be able to live off of 20 grand when you think about your tuition, your fees, your books, your supplies, and then you got your food, your room and board, and the cost of rent here in Ontario, just using that as an example, is insane, even for just a room, which a lot of students do rent our rooms. And, they could start from 700 going up. So without having your spouse here to actually work, it will be very, very difficult for international students to make it through, because 24 hours a week on a minimum wage salary won't even help marginally to supplement all of the, things that they need in just daily life necessities, the daily essentials. So what the Trudeau government is doing in their cleanup operation is tightening and tightening and tightening, which is going to make it more and more difficult for international students. And it's unfortunate. I've said this moreover. He has made a muck of things. The Liberals altogether have made an absolute mess of things as it relates to the way they handled the immigration process. And sadly, a lot of these international students who are here to learn and make a better life for themselves are going to suffer as a result of it. They are a casualty of this mess. It's unfortunate. Anyway, let me know what you all think about this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this content. Also, download the African Diaspora News app. You can grab it at the Google or Apple store, and you want to get this app. Promise you will not be disappointed. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Black Experience with Emma Ansah. Until next time, please be safe, everyone.